I forgot to turn. That's my bad. How's everybody doing? I look down and like, I can't hear you. Well, hello everybody. Happy Thursday evening. I forgot to turn the mic up. That is my fault and my apologies to all of you. So let's go back and talk about the record highs. Welcome. It's Thursday evening. Bill Taylor, Ken's 5 Digital Center. Sometimes a little brain fog. Hi, Rox. Thank you. No sound. Hey, Sarah. Aloha. Watching you all from Joint Base Pearl Harbor. Awesome, Sylvia. Thank you for serving. We really appreciate you. Pearl Harbor is such an experience. I was able to visit there. Incredible. Yes, no, thank you for alerting me. I just completely forgot to check the mic. I was building that hurricane graphic that you'll see here shortly. All right, so recapping, you saw all this, but what all I was telling you is that several records, like the one in Austin, look at that, 110 today in Austin and Del Rio. 111's on the map, R106. And then you saw all the new records. I don't think I have to recap too much. You saw them all. But it's incredible when you think about just how much heat we've been enduring this summer. And we had the 10 days up to last Sunday was number 11. So it was Saturday, broke the record. Last Saturday, broke the record for the 10 hottest days in San Antonio history. 10-day stretch. That was the hottest average. It was like 104.8 on the average high. Hottest 10-day stretch we've ever recorded. So, impressive heat, and the culprit remains the high. Impressive dryness. As I showed you, the less than a quarter of an inch of rain has been this summer, number one driest summer. So, we're also in the worst drought condition in the southern United States. I mean, all of the southern United States, there's no drought condition worse than what we're experiencing here. The category, the highest one, is exceptional. And you can still see that huge pocket of exceptional. Did not change from last week to this week. This has been updated. This is a new drought report today, issued on Thursdays. So the exceptional drought area has not changed. You can see it, just a sliver of Comal that includes Canyon Lake, sliver of San Antonio or Bexar County, then almost half of Bandera County, almost all of Kerr, all of Kendall, and almost all of Gillespie. What has changed from last week? More extreme drought. The extreme drought area has been carried farther south and now takes up almost half of Atascosa County. All of Bexar County is in extreme drought right now. And you can see a sliver of Wilson, almost all of Guadalupe for Seguin, all of Comal for New Braunfels, almost all of Medina County, where Hondo and Castroville, okay? So that expanded. Also expanding is a severe drought area going farther southeast. And this is exceptional to see our counties to the southeast and especially the coast in extreme drought. I mean, south of Victoria to Port Lavaca, Rockport, all in extreme drought. That is rare that you see the Texas coast in an extreme drought condition. But that's what we're dealing with, and this is why, the high. The high is why. Hi, Marisa, how are you? Helotus, what's going on? A fellow Hellotian in the house. Love it. Eddie, yeah, 106 today. Poteet is here. Hey, Deborah, how are you? Hope the strawberries are faring okay. There's Vanessa, good to see you. Vivi's ready for fall, right? So ready for fall. Yoli wants some rain. I think it's going to happen. We're going to get some rain. All right, here's why. High pressure that's been dominating our weather pattern. Watch as it shifts a little farther north. It's going to center up near St. Louis next week. Don't expect these changes tomorrow or even this weekend. It's going to be several days before we start seeing things develop. Now, here's what we're expecting to see. Once that high lifts to the north, an area of low pressure develops over the Gulf of Mexico. This is, again, next week. Right now, a 30% chance that what develops in the Gulf, anywhere in that yellow area, becomes a named storm. That's the probability I'm showing you. 30% that it becomes a tropical storm and gets a name, okay? Even if it doesn't, it will be an efficient rainmaker, okay? And I'll show you the models in a second. But if it does, we're going to have to watch this system very closely. What I'm showing you here, the heat potential in the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean, they're like bath water. Both bodies of water cranking temperatures of like mid to upper 80s right now. Some spots 90s. Very, very hot. A lot of heat potential, a lot of heat energy. That means that when a system develops in this kind of an environment, it grows and intensifies very quickly. This could be a Cat 4 or Cat 5 if everything goes according to plan here. And what I mean plan, we're not in a full El Nino yet, so we don't have the big upper level winds that would shear the top off of this storm. And we have very, very hot water and a lot of good heat energy to build this storm vertically. So with those things considered, it could be a very strong system if it does develop. Well, let me show you though. As I mentioned, the important thing is that we get some of the rain we need, and even if it doesn't develop into a named storm, we've got some very good rain chances heading our way. So here's what we've got. Monday, a couple of scattered showers will be possible. Now, please take this with a grain of salt. This is computer model forecasting into next week. Okay, so these are global models. We haven't seen the high resolution models yet. We don't get those till 48 hours out as far as good ones that we can really bank on. So this is going to change a lot, but it's a decent chance of at least, it's not a 30% chance of the rain. That 30% again is that it becomes a named storm. So don't differentiate that, or don't misunderstand me. Notice that Tuesday into Tuesday night, that's going to be a bit more coverage, and that's why we're going with the best rain chance on Tuesday. Wednesday, it looks like it shifts a little bit to the west, but either way, it looks like it wraps up by Wednesday, and we start seeing rain chances dropped by Thursday. Here's an encouraging sign that the rainfall forecast looks pretty good. From San Antonio down I-37 to the coast, we're looking at pockets of 1 inch, and we've got various areas of 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of rain. Very nice. Over the course of about 2 days, I would say. Tuesday, Wednesday is going to be pretty much our time frame. Now, I promised you an active tropics. Look at this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 systems we're watching. Early on tropical waves that could be developing, areas of low pressure. Now, the one that you see, the X that you see north of the Caribbean, okay, that's the one that would move into the Gulf of Mexico, and in a week's time, a 30% chance it develops. Then in the orange, you've got a 50-50 chance, medium chance that develops. But then the system farthest away from us in the Atlantic, just off the coast of Africa, that's the 70% chance, high chance that develops. Now look in the just east of the Caribbean, that's the newest wave with a 20% chance of developing. So those three look like they're going to want to steer north of the Caribbean, okay, and be in the Atlantic and possibly affect the Atlantic coast. But the one that is developing near the Keys, north of Puerto Rico, that's the one that could be in the Gulf. And then if you look on the left side of this image, you can see Hurricane Hillary. That's going to be a big system that goes up the west coast of Mexico and the United States. Lynn, it is. It really is. I'm going to show you the 7-day. And no severe, Brianna. How are you? Good to see you. No severe weather expected right now. Right, Janet? Hey, Vanessa, good to see you. Why does it seem to get so hot a day before a rain day? That's a good question, Javier. A lot of times, it's going to be with a cold front, okay? A lot of times with cold fronts, we get what's called compression with the atmosphere, and the front comes in, and it's kind of like a prefrontal warming, and we'll get real hot right before the front and the rain that's associated with it. The reason why we're hot right now is the dryness of our soils and the lack of moisture. So that helps contribute to the heat. I mean, the dome of high pressure is the main reason, but because we haven't had rain, the dryness of the ground also radiates a lot more heat. And so we get a few degrees higher because of that. 106, one of the reasons why we hit that today, that the air dried out just enough too. Sometimes when the air dries out, the numbers will go up a little bit. The humidity will drop, but the temperature will rise because drier air will heat a lot more. Think about a desert. When you have more humidity in the atmosphere, then you see temperatures drop a little bit, but that feels like will be unbearable, with higher humidity. Not really, Chris. Sometimes we do watch those closely with the moisture that they could move in our direction, but that's only if they make landfall in central Mexico and start breaking up and that moisture moves north-northeast. Instead, this system's going to hug the coast. It's expected to hold together and not make landfall in Mexico, but hug the coast and move up to Southern California perhaps. And that would write some big headlines if they get the kind of rain that they could get with that. Hey, John, I'm doing good. Thank you so much. I'm doing good. And God bless you too, my brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, James, exactly. Dryness and the foundation issues. Be careful on that. Cat 3? No, Grace. I don't think that will happen. I hope not. 111. Jennifer, I believe it. Of course, remember, those thermometers on cars, they get a lot of sunshine, so sometimes that'll add a few degrees too. Active tropics. Isn't that incredible? All right, from the Pearl, the next 7 days are hot. No change until next week. So 105 again tomorrow, 104s over Saturday, Sunday. I say again, we hit 106 today, actually. 105 was the record high for a while at 6 o'clock, and then National Weather Service found an observation that we did climb to 106 for a moment. So we'll start with that 10% Monday, but boy, we ramp it up quick. Tuesday, 50-50, then 30, maybe even, it could change. Again, this is still a week out, so these chances can change a lot as we see things as we get closer. Hey, Juan, how does Saturday look? Our church, Bethel Covenant Assembly of God, giving out school supplies. Hey, that's awesome. That is so great to be giving and equipping our children for school. God bless you, Juan. Saturday looks great. It's going to be hot, as you can see, but it will be dry, and I'm really glad you're doing that. God bless you guys. Hey, Liz. Can't wait to see you in the... Oh, Liz, it's going to be so cool. I can't wait. Well, I hope September 2nd is going to be... I'm going to bring some cool air to Uvalde. I hope to do that. David was having dinner with a world chess champ, and there was a Czech tablecloth. It took them 2 hours to pass the salt. That's pretty funny. That's... I like that one, David. That's really good. What do you recommend for band kids outside in the late afternoons? Oh my gosh. Michelle, Pedialyte. Tell the kids to be hydrating from the moment they get up in the morning. Make sure they're getting up in the morning and not sleeping until noon, because that'll make it a lot easier once school starts soon, if they're not already back in school. My kids don't go back until the 28th. But I'll tell you, man, the band, and especially they're practicing on asphalt, so the temperature on asphalt is a lot higher. I saw our O'Connor band practicing. I hope they are practicing in the morning. It's even humid and hotter then, and hopefully wrapping up by 12 or 1 o'clock. Once you get to 2, 3, 4, I mean, you're hitting the heat of the day. That is just dangerous. So please make sure that they are definitely hydrating. Yes, Vanessa, please keep praying. We need this rain bad. Watching from Wharton. Hey, Ibana. Random question, what you got, Brian? Good to see you. Came across an old wives' tale online. The number of August fogs equal the number of snowfall days. Interesting. That's a good one. We haven't had any fog this August, so no snow expected, right? That's interesting. What I've been hearing a lot of are the different folklores about getting rain. I actually heard one that you kill a rattlesnake and put it belly up on a fence, and it's going to be it'll rain. When does tropical storm season end? Just in November, end of November, but we're now in the peak of the season. Mid-August through mid-September is the peak of hurricane season, and you can see the results. I mean, we've got 4 systems we're watching out in the tropics. Brian and yeah, there's several here too, James. Several districts are already back here. All right, guys, that's your 7-day forecast. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday night and an even better Friday. God bless you, and I hope to see you guys at 10. I'll make sure to have my mic on.